what's the difference between safe and outside your comfort zone? Unsafe and outside your comfort zone. This is Dr. Liz from Sex Positive Psych.
This is Cathy Bartuli from the Intimacy Dojo.
And a lot of times we're encouraged to stretch our comfort zones because it's very easy to get stagnant and just continue doing what we've always done. And I think our culture, Hunter Riley, a friend of ours, had actually posted an article about this that got me thinking about it. That, a lot of times we associate as our society, we say unsafe when we really mean outside our comfort zones.
Yeah, I think that when we're in a relationship, there's this whole buffet of activities we could engage in, right? And some of them are squarely within our comfort zone. Some of them are within a comfort zone we have with that particular partner. There are others that are outside of that comfort zone, but that aren't necessarily hard-nosed, right?
Yeah.
And I think that when we talk about it as a term of like boundaries versus comfort zones, it gives us a lot more flexibility.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people confusing those two. They're saying, I want to push your boundaries.
No.
Pushing boundaries is bad, right? What you're wanting to do is help someone look at whether they want to expand their comfort zone.
We always go to that restaurant every Friday.
Right.
Could we please try a different restaurant?
Right.
Versus, I'm allergic to that kind of food. I want you to go to that restaurant with me and eat there.
Right. And I think in relationships, it's so easy for us to get to a place of feeling like our discomfort is the same thing as something being unsafe.
Yeah.
Right? Whenever I'm feeling discomfort around an activity, what I try to do is think about what is it that's making me uncomfortable? What is it that would help me feel more comfortable? Is this an absolute no? Is it an absolute no with this person?
Yeah.
What would the conditions have to be for me to feel like I could experiment with it? Because a lot of times when I'm thinking about something that makes me uncomfortable, I'm not necessarily uncomfortable with that specific thing. I'm uncomfortable with it becoming expected from me forever.
Yeah. And setting that condition, like I'm willing to try this once versus, oh, we're going to do this. We did it once. We're going to do it forever. Yeah. Like, no, maybe not.
And especially if you're looking at more intense activities, that can be really scary. Saying like, yes, I'll experiment in this with you. It can feel like you're saying, yes, this is now open forever.
Yeah.
And that doesn't have to be the case.
I also encourage you to check to see how full your tanks are. If you're depleted, you're exhausted, and many of us are trying to do far more things than we can fit in our schedule. No fingers pointing back at me. When our tanks are low, new things seem much scarier.
That's so true.
And so it's easier to feel threatened by something, even like I want to try a different burger joint on Friday night. That can seem, no, I know what to expect there. My brain is overwhelmed. I just want to do what I'm used to. So if you can, get some rest, especially if you've agreed Friday night we're going to have this cool date and we're going to try some new things, which we always encourage. I love having exploration dates.
Love experimentation time.
Yeah, it's so great. But if you know you're going to have it, get some rest the night before. Make sure you have some food. Make sure you get some social time so you're not showing up completely depleted.
Yeah. And
knowing that our primitive brains respond to our bodies. There's a biofeedback loop. If we're tired, the halt, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and thirsty in there too. But any of those things will make it seem bigger to try something new. So, and also having clear boundaries. Like, I'm willing to try it in this 1 hour, and then we'll reevaluate. I'm not committing to do this forever. Can help you feel safer trying things out.
Yeah.
And it might be more fun than...
And figuring out, too, what the meaning of it is, right? Because sometimes we guess that there's a meaning to an activity that isn't necessarily there.
Yeah.
Or we may be ascribing a meaning to an activity that doesn't have to be a part of it.
If he really loved me, he'd tie me up.
Right. Anything that starts with "if he really loved me," unless it's about like basic respect of your boundaries and personhood, is, and everyone should do that, whether they love you or not.
Yeah. Tie you up?
No, respect your boundaries and personhood. The last thing I would say is that for me, I notice when I'm thinking about trying something new, even if my tank is relatively full, sometimes there's initial discomfort bump that I have to get over.
Yeah.
And like once I get over that bump, it's great. Right?
And I like just telling someone, I'm feeling uncomfortable right now. This feels outside my comfort zone. And for me, verbalizing it, my brain goes, oh yeah, this happens every time. Oh, okay.
Right.
So,
like, I've been to a ton of play parties. Still.
Every single time.
Like 90% of the time when I'm getting ready to go to play party, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go.
And usually in the first 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. I have not been to a play party when sometime during the night, I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
And later I'm like, oh, I really did have a good time, but it was outside my comfort zone. And so just realize that there's nothing wrong. that trying something new and expanding your world, I love the phrase, magic happens outside our comfort zone.
Yes.
We're not going to have a sparkling, dynamic relationship with someone if we're always going to the same burger joint, always having the same conversation, and always exploring the same things in bed.
Right. If you're looking for passion, passion isn't in your comfort zone.
Mm-mm.
And passion has to cross a distance, and sometimes that distance is your discomfort.
Yeah. So be willing to explore your comfort zones and stepping out and discomfort, but realize when something genuinely feels unsafe,
say no.
Yeah. And if someone won't respect that, then
and it's so much better to give a genuine no than a false yes.
And sometimes if you say no and you see that person respect it, it suddenly feels a little safer.
Oh my gosh.
But that's not the reason
it's not a reason to say no. But absolutely, there have been so many things I've been willing to try because I gave them an initial no. And they respected it so well. Yeah. I was like, oh, I can be safe trying this with you.
Yeah. So let us know what you think. We'd love to know. This is such an important topic.
I love doing my little T-Rex comments arms.
Yeah.
The little... Yeah.
We'd love to know what you think about this. And how do you get past your comfort zones and distinguish safety from discomfort?
Yeah.
Congratulations on taking this time for yourself and learning these things. If you'd like to follow more of this, you can subscribe to my channel here. Social media is up here. And there's more videos of this type here. See you soon.